You know, every single day you're proving who you are online, whether you're logging into your bank, buying something, or signing up for a new app. It's this system we use constantly, but let's be honest, we almost never think about how it works. Well, that system is going through a massive fundamental shift right now, and it all comes down to one big question: who really owns your digital self? So let's break down what's happening and why this is a huge deal for you.
Think about it for a sec. The last time you used your phone to verify your identity, it probably felt instant, almost trivial, right? But if you ever stop to ask, when I do this, who's actually making money? Who profits from this simple act of proving I am me? Well, the answer is a lot more complicated and, frankly, way more controversial than you might think.
You know, there's a perfect quote that just nails the old system. It's less of a security industry and more of a toll booth industry. For years, in places like South Korea, the whole setup wasn't really built for your security. Nope, it was built around a legal requirement that allowed a handful of private companies, mostly the big telecoms, to set up a mandatory digital checkpoint. Every time you needed to prove who you were, you had to pass through their toll booth, and they collected a fee.
And the engine that powered that toll booth? It's a little piece of data called CI, or connection information. Now, this is an 88-byte string of code that's permanently assigned to you. And I mean permanent. It never changes. The best way to think of it is as your online resident number. Every single service you sign up for gets the same exact CI, creating this unbreakable, traceable link between everything you do online.
So, as you can imagine, this system had some serious problems. I mean, first, your entire online life could be tracked using this permanent CI, and you, the user, you had zero control over it. If it ever got leaked, you couldn't get a new one. Tough luck. Plus, there were real security concerns that authorities could potentially use it to map out a person's entire digital life. And to top it all off, it was a closed system that often just locked out foreigners entirely.
But hey, this isn't just about one country's problems. A new global standard is starting to take shape. And to really get it, we need to look at what's happening in Europe. They're building a completely different kind of system, one that's designed to put you, the user, back in the driver's seat. Okay, so under a new rule book called EIDS 2.0, every single citizen in the EU is going to get access to a digital identity wallet. It's basically a super secure app on your phone where you can store your official ID. The two key words here are store and control. You hold your own data. It's not sitting on some company's server. But the real genius, the real game changer, is in how you use it. So how does this actually work in practice? Well, it's all about this awesome concept called selective disclosure. Let's say you want to buy some alcohol online. The website just needs to know if you're an adult. With the new system, instead of sending a photo of your ID with your name, address, and exact birth date, your digital wallet simply gets a request. Is this person over the legal age? You just tap approve, and the wallet sends back one single piece of information. Yes. That's it. Nothing else.
I mean, the difference is just night and day. The old way is like handing a bouncer your entire wallet just to prove you're old enough to get in. They see everything. The new way? It's like showing them a simple verified green checkmark that just says, yep, they're an adult. All of your other personal information stays private, secure, and right where it belongs, with you. This is a massive leap forward for privacy.
All right, so let's bring it back to South Korea. Faced with all the problems of that old toll booth system, the government has launched its own answer. And it's a system that lines up perfectly with this new global standard, the mobile ID.
And listen, this isn't some far-off, futuristic idea. It's already here, and it's rolling out fast. It started with IDs for public officials back in 2021, then driver's licenses for everyone in 2022, and the big one, the mobile resident ID, is on track to go nationwide in 2025. This is happening right now.
So, what's under the hood of this new system? First off, it has the exact same legal power as your plastic ID card. That's huge. Second, your information isn't stored on some government or company server somewhere. It's encrypted and locked away in a secure chip on your phone. It uses tech like blockchain, not to store your data, but to create a foolproof way for anyone to instantly check that your ID is real with no middleman. And just like the EU wallet, you get to choose exactly what info to show. You can hide your address or your full birth date whenever you don't need to share.
Okay, so this creates a really fascinating situation, right? On one side, you've got a brand new, powerful, government-backed public system for identity. And on the other, you have that old, profitable, private toll booth industry. So what happens when these two worlds finally collide?
This comparison chart really lays it all out. Look at the shift in control. It goes from private companies straight to a partnership between you and the government. The privacy level goes from low and super trackable to high with selective disclosure.
And the role of the private sector? It completely changes. They go from owning the entire system to becoming partners within a new public framework. This is the heart of the whole transition.
So how on earth did the government manage this huge transition without a massive knockdown, drag-out fight? Well, they chose a really clever strategy. Instead of declaring war on the powerful telecom and tech companies, they decided to invite them to the party.
Here's how they pulled it off. The government basically allowed the apps that people already use every single day, Naver, Kakao, Toss, to become official operators for the mobile ID. So you can get your official government-issued digital ID right inside the app you already know and trust. This gives the private sector a new important role, it avoids a messy conflict, and it makes it incredibly easy for millions of people to get on board. It's what you'd call a perfect soft landing.
Let's just zoom out for a second. Because beyond all the tech, the regulations, and the business strategy, this whole story is really about one fundamental question. In our digital world, who should be in charge of your identity?
And this right here is the answer. The old way, the old paradigm, was all about linking people. That CI number was designed specifically to connect all your accounts and all your activities. The new paradigm, it's simply about verifying facts. The system isn't trying to track who you are all across the web anymore. It's just trying to answer a simple question, like, is this person over 21? Or is this driver's license legit? Without creating any of those unnecessary privacy-invading links.
And this isn't just a hopeful theory. The Korean mobile ID system is living proof that, as one source put it so perfectly, large-scale identity verification is possible without creating links between people. A more private, more secure alternative isn't just a dream, it's already been built and it's working.
All of this leads us to one final, crucial question. If we now have public systems that are more secure, give us more privacy, and put us, the users, in control, then why should private companies still be the ones who own the very identifiers that define us online? Is the era of the identity tollbooth finally over? You have to wonder, maybe it's time for a complete redesign.